Hey guys, hello again. Welcome to another Travel Malta video. It's a magnificent early autumn Melbourne day. My mind's always at Malta, and today I'm going to film this video. This is part one, there'll be part two, because I'm often asked on our messenger page, Michael, we're going to Malta, it may be for a few days, it might be for a week or two. What kind of a boat trip should we do there? We just want to do a nice short, boat trip so we can say we've experienced it from the sea. What do you recommend? Now, I've had to think about this, and I'm going to talk about tonight our 5 favourite boat trips around Malta and Gozo for you to consider on your next trip to Malta. Let's get into it. And first of all, I'm going to talk to you about the Grand Harbour. Now, the Grand Harbour, guys, it's special, it's historic, the place of so many sieges and historical moments. And you can see the Grand Harbour from everywhere, from Valletta, from the Upper Baracca, from Sliema, from places like Kalkara, 3 cities. But for me, it's a special way to see it on the sea itself. And we've got the ferry service, yes, from Valletta to Sliema and Valletta to the 3 cities and all that, which will cross the harbour and everything. But this is a quick ferry service. That's really designed to get you from A to B in a quick time. It's only about a 5 or 6 minute trip. So I wouldn't really classify it as a boat trip. That's there for a particular reason, to get you somewhere. In Valletta, there near Marsamxat, where the ferry docks and everything, near there, Sliema and the 3 cities, there are going to be these lovely Maltese captains with their magnificently maintained Maltese boats. We call them Daisa, Dayas, plural, and Lutsus. These are those beautiful wooden coloured boats, painted, lovely. And they're going to be more than happy. They're going to row you out and then turn the engine on and get you out. And look, guys, it is nice to see Malta from the sea, from a big catamaran, from a yacht, etc. I find that when I'm on the Grand Harbour, something about these Maltese boats, they're low. They're close to the water. They chug across. You feel like you're living through history, looking at these bastion walls and stuff. Just, you're also going to look at all the high buildings and everything. But anyway, it's just magnificent to do it so close to the sea, okay? So for me, this is a boat trip you've got to do. Now, they will point out a lot of historic things and a lot of places of high importance, a lot of the movie scenes, places you've seen in the Game of Thrones and the wedding scene, movies like Troy, Gladiator. They're filming Gladiator too at the moment, as we know. So they'll take you and they'll point them out. And they offer a set price to put a bunch of people in this boat and take you around. Or you can do what you do. Sometimes it's just Brenda and I, we want some privacy. Or we're with our friends who travel with us, or maybe a group of 5 or 6 of us, and we'll say, listen, guys, listen, mate, we want the boat for 45 minutes, take our time, let's negotiate a price. And they'll go, ooh and ah, and mate, it's fantastic. I always give them a bit extra. And the only other tip, before you get on that boat, and they'll have a nice canopy normally for the sun and everything in summer, but before you get on that boat, just excuse yourself, run across the road, load up with your drinks, maybe a couple of Chisk lagers or Kinnies, maybe a Chardonnay for the ladies, and a snack, maybe a nice fatira, freshly made, or even maybe sneak in a couple of pastizzi. It's going to make your trip that much better. The Grand Harbour, definitely in my top 5. Okay, now let's talk about the next one. Who doesn't love the Blue Grotto? I'm often putting posts up about the Blue Grotto. It's sensational. It's sensational. You go along that beautiful road, you can see all the views, you can see Filfla, and then you make your way down into Witis a very small seaside fishing village, very slopey road down there. You park your car, you'll probably see Chico, the Maltese man with the moustache, getting on a bit, but he's been there forever. I think there was Adam and Eve and then Chico, the car park attendant. And he might ask for a donation if it helps. You don't have to, you're not obliged. Or you can flick him a euro or 2 or 50, whatever. He's going to appreciate it, right? He's got a big family, a lot of grandkids. He's a lovely man. Anyway, and you make your way down. There's a restaurants and everything. We'll talk about them later. And here's a course of events. You make your way down, you get your tickets. There's a set price for adults, set price for kids. I have negotiated a bit before, bargained. Once we went there in a group of 12, and I said, come on, man. I'm coming here every year, I'm bringing people. And they did a deal with the kids, that's okay. And you make your way down, and there's these colourful boats waiting for you, the skippers. And they're going to take you out of Witis out of the valley. Wet is Zurir, the valley, Wet valley of Zurir. They'll take you out of the valley and they'll take you around to the caves. And before you know it, you're going to be in the Blue Grotto. You're going to be in it. You're going to go really close to the walls, close and personal. You can touch it. You can put your hand in the water. It'll be turquoise. You take all your photos. Now, I'm not recommending or promoting this, but in the past, more than once, I have picked the right captain and told him we're going to do this and accidentally fell overboard right inside the grotto. A few of us, bang, 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 pop our snorkel on, and he's gone for a little chug for a few minutes. And there happens to be this lovely big flat boulder right inside the cave, which I can easily step on and then make a gracious, somewhat gracious entry back into the boat. And I can say I swam in the grotto. Look, if you're going to do something like that, you make sure you can talk about it first and you don't upset them. And I wouldn't try and do it when they're really busy. And of course, I always slip them an extra €10 or whatever for a tip, right? But I'm not advocating this. I'm just saying that it has happened to me where I've accidentally gone straight back overboard right in the grotto and enjoyed a magnificent swim. Anyway, the course of events then is that you'll go back. The best time to do this boat trip, I should have mentioned, is mid to late morning. Why? Because the sun is high. You're going to get all those lights, all those angles, that sunshine, the reflections. You're going to see the fluorescence, the beautiful shades of blue, turquoise, green in the water, shades of purple, shades of orange. Don't go too early in the morning. Don't go too late in the arvo, guys. Then you go back, just on the platforms there with a boat dock. You can walk in, you can go in quite a bit. You take your gear off and you jump in, you go for a swim. There are plenty of chains, plenty of ropes, plenty of buoys. It's extremely deep in there. You can just jump straight in, it's very deep, and have a ball. Just ask the locals, are there any jellyfish here today before you do it? I'm worried about the pink ones, not those beautiful yellow with the blue tentacles, the big fried egg ones. You tap them on the head, they roll over, and you tickle them. You get a little tingle, you don't get stung. After you swim, go up. There's plenty of rooftop dining or veranda dining, and you go and have a wonderful seafood meal. Maybe some fried rabbit and garlic or whatever it is that tickles your fancy. So number 2 on the list, guys, is the Blue Grotto. Get into it. I'm going to stop this video and flip over to part B, where I'm going to talk about my next 3 favourite boat trips around Malta and Gozo. Okay, guys, this is part B of Michael's top 5 boat trips around Malta. We've talked already about the Grand Harbour and, of course, about the Blue Grotto and Witte. So let's jump into the next one, which is Marsaxlokk. Weird name, weird spelling. We love it. You've seen it. The great colourful boats all over the harbour. You can just about jump from one to the other. And that beautiful long Sunday market. Now, it's a little known fact. They have markets here on most days in summer. But on Sunday, they have the really big market with all the seafood and everything. And it's quite an occasion. You get there. Yeah, we normally get there at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Brenda is a nutter for the markets. She goes through all the stalls. She runs when she gets to the fish. She doesn't like the smell. I love seeing the fish, take my photos, take my videos. And then I usually cross the road and hop into one of the bars, one of the clubs or gazines, as they call them, band clubs, or the political party clubs. Or a restaurant, have a drink, have a scotch, have a beer, maybe a kinny. Maybe sneak in a pastitz or one of those lovely little cakes from the vans. Anyway. About halfway up that promenade, you will see these very friendly people selling tickets to the boat trips out of Marsaxlokk. It's about halfway up the market, near the boat ramps in the middle. Now, well worth your effort, guys. They're cheap. They'll take you out for about 25 minutes, maybe longer. And you're going to get to Delamara Point. First of all, they're going to take you close and personal. You're going to weave through all the colourful, beautiful painted boats, all colours of the rainbow. Then you're going to head up and they're going to take you to Delamara Point and a place called Il Hofri. This means the holes. Big cliffs. I don't know, what are they? Sandstone, limestone? I don't know, I'm not a geologist, but they've got tunnels in them, holes in them. You can see through them. It's quite the spectacle from the sea. Hard place to get to on land. You'll see boats tied together. A lot of Maltese families, friends, they take their boats. They stay there for the day or for the weekend. They like camp on the land. They snorkel, they fish, they swim, they cook their barbecues. It's magnificent, okay? And then they'll take you to St. Peter's Pool. We've all seen it. We all love it. Beautiful, big, natural rock formation. A lot of young people go there, dive, take their Instagram photos, you know. Anyway, it's quite good and it's magnificent to approach it and see it close from the sea on a boat tour. You head back into Marsaxlokk fishing village. You do the rest of the market. You may want to run across the road and book a table for lunch, because if you made the effort and gone to the market and a boat tour in Marsaxlokk, do yourself a favour and just enjoy some of the best seafood you're going to get in Malta, straight off the boat around there across the road in one out of about 20 restaurants, mate. It's unfair to name a few, but Il Bucat, my favourite. There's Pisces, there's Il Caribbean, there's Mr. Fitz Pizza. There's just so many. They've upped the ante. The standard is so good since COVID. You're going to struggle to get a bad meal. If you go to Il Bucat, speak to Justin, tell him you want the same platter he always makes for Michael Fava from Travel Malta. Let's move on. Gozo, we love it. There's a lovely little seaside village called Dweida. Dweira, remember the name. D-W-E-J, pronounce Y-R-A, Dweida. This used to be the home of the Azure Window, that lovely big rock formations you've seen on the Game of Thrones and everything else, which collapsed into the sea during a big storm very early one morning about, 7 years ago? But some people don't know about the inland sea. It's right there. It's a beautiful big inland sea. It's got cliffs on the seaside, and there is a hole, there is a tunnel, just wide enough for a little Maltese boat to fit you through. It's like you're literally just about to scrape the rock walls as you go through. It is magnificent. I put photos up on this just last week. And you're in the inland sea. You go for a swim and do all that, but you get on a boat ticket. It's so cheap because you're at Gozo. It's cheaper than the Blue Grotto. And you go out there. They take you out 20, 25 minutes, half an hour. And as soon as you're through, you're on the outside sea. And you look and you see all the cliffs. As far as you can see on both sides, the beautiful cliffs. What do they call them? I think they're the Sanat Cliffs or Tachench Cliffs, whatever. They're sensational. And there is a few natural rock formations. I think one of them is called Fungus Rock. The other one is Crocodile Rock. There is one, it's like God himself went up there with tools and carved an elephant's foot in the cliff face. You see this elephant's foot. It's sensational. I think that's at Dweira. I hope I'm not getting confused with the Blue Grotto. But anyway, maybe I am. In any case, it doesn't matter. You got to go. It's sensational. So when you go to Gozo, make the effort. Go to Dweira. Now, right near the inland sea, just on the other side, there is a blue hole. You've got to walk through a bit of a rocky pathway. Now, you don't swim in there unless it's dead calm. If there's any current or any swell, don't do it. Right? It's not the business, not the place for anyone to swim on a rough day, even if you're a seasoned swimmer. If you're a tourist, you're not used to the currents, just don't do it. Go, admire, and go and swim in the inland sea. If it's dead calm, go for a swim, hang on to the rocks. It's sensational. Deep down, you'll see the bubbles. The bubbles coming up, they're divers beneath you because it's a truly favourite dive site in Gozo and Malta, okay? Last but not least, guys, the Blue Lagoon at Camino. We know it's magnificent. We know it's sensational. There is a bad way to do the Blue Lagoon, to hop on a ferry from Slima or from Melilla or anywhere and get dumped on the beach with another 1,000 people on a stinking hot summer's bay where everyone's walking around with their melted ice cream or their pineapple drink thinking, where am I going to lay my towel? No, don't do it. You either go during the day by private boat or you just hire a boat with a captain or you do it yourself. We've done it on a big rib before. Not cheap, but worth it. You get out there, you anchor just outside the lagoon, you hop in and you go inside the lagoon for your swim. It's safe. There are plenty of rocks and things to jump onto. And of course, the lagoon itself is a sandy beach. Get on there, enjoy the beach, but then go back and enjoy your boat. All right? Or you do an evening trip. There are some companies, we used to do English Rose Cruises. I think Yeehaw Water Sports now do it. I think they took them over. They do an evening trip. You have a buffet dinner. They drop you at the beach. You go swimming late afternoon. Everyone's gone home. You got the beach to yourselves, 4 or 5 boats only. You go for a swim. You dry off. Magnificent barbecue buffet, salads, the works. Then you dance a night away. Maltese and Western music. Then you head back to Melilla, to Taninet, a little port there, at Melilla, at about 11 p.m. It's a great way to do it. You've got to go to the Blue Lagoon. You've got to tick it off your list. Guys, enjoy. They are my 5 favourite boat trips around the islands. It's sensational. I'll be there this summer, and you know what? I can guarantee, I've done them 100 times, I'll do them all again. Enjoy wherever you are. See you.